Hello everyone, my name is Warith. Welcome to my very first video tutorial. I just got myself a crappy microphone, so pardon the noise. Anyways, I hope you will enjoy this video. Today I'm going to show you the fundamentals of 3D Studio Max, in other words, the basic skills. So, working on architecture modeling, the first thing you need to do is to set up the units. Go to Customize, click Unit Setup, change from generic units to metric, and then change to millimeters. Go to System Unit Setup, change this to millimeters, click OK, and OK again. So now you're ready to go. Now what you see here is the basic setup of 3D Studio Max. There are 4 views, each with its own view. This one is top view, this one is front view, this one is left, and this one is perspective. As you can see, there is grid in every view, so sometimes it gets in the way. Usually what I do is I turn it off by pressing G. Just lift the perspective. Now we're going to create our very first object, and the way to do that is by first go to Create Panel, look into Geometry, and click Box. Now you can create an object in any viewports at all, but in this particular case I'm going to do it in perspective view so that you have a better view. And the way to create an object is first by click and drag and pull it up, click again. So you're done. Now always remember to right click once you're done, because if not you will accidentally start making another box, see? And the way to stop that is by right clicking. So let's delete this. So we don't know the dimensions of this box, so if you want to adjust it, you need to go to Modify Panel here, click on Modify Panel. As you can see, this is the length, width, and height of this particular box. So let's say if you want to create a wall, let's make it about 1 meter, 1000 millimeter, and 150 millimeters of width, and height maybe 3000. So now you see the box is grown out of scale, and the way to zoom is by pressing Z. Maybe we need to make this a bit longer, maybe 5 meters. Yeah, press Z to zoom out. So let's create another object. This time we're going to create a teapot. Alright, so as usual, click and drag and you get your teapot. As you can see, everything starts from the ground level or 0 level. So that's how you create an object in 3D Studio Max. Now if you feel like changing the view at any point, all you need to do is just go to the small box here and click on that icon on the side, so you can change it to anything you want to. Say that's top view, and if you want to change from left to right, maybe just click on this box here and then you get the right view. So for perspective, in order for you to orbit it, you need to just click on this box here and drag it around, tweak it, so you can just go banana on this one. Yeah, that's it. Now I'm going to show you how to rotate, scale, and move an object. So first let's get rid of this wall here and just concentrate on the teapot. So if you want to move an object, first thing you need to do is select the object, go to this icon right here which says select and move, and click on it. So if you want to move the teapot along the x-axis, just click on the X arrow and drag it around. The same for Y, click on Y arrow, drag it around. You can tell by the highlighted yellow. And the same for Z, you see it's being highlighted. And if you want to move it randomly, you just select on the little box in the middle and click on it, drag it around. The same, you can actually work on any viewport at all. Let's say if you want to work on from the top view, this is how you do it. click on X and click on Y, click in the middle box to move it around, and that's it. If you want to rotate an object, you must first make sure that you have selected object and go to rotate icon right here, and you can just rotate that object in any viewports as you like. Usually we use the outer circle. If you use the inner circle, it will go banana, but it's up to you if that's what you want. And as for scaling, just click on this icon next to rotate where it says uniform scale. Click on it and it works the same. You can just scale it out according to the axis, so you can just distort it if you want to. Let's make it from the viewport so that you could understand better. So this is what happens if you scale on the x-axis. It will elongate along the x-axis and y as well, and z as well. But if you want to scale it uniformly, what you need to do is you need to click in the middle triangle, so you will scale it uniformly or proportionately. So that's about how you move, rotate and scale an object. See, if you want to move an object to a certain distance, go to move icon, and the first thing you need to do is to click on this little guy right here, this little box at the bottom. Click on it and everything turns 0. So let's say if you want to move the teapot along the x-axis, just key in the number 10 millimeters. Let's make it 600 millimeters. Enter. If you want to move it back, just type in -600. It goes back. The same for other axis. Let's try on z-axis. 500. Enter. -500. It brings it down. So if you want to rotate this object, just go to rotate icon, and this time let's work on the top viewport. So you just key in the number, let's say 45 degrees angle, 45, enter, it moves to 45. The same for other viewport as well. Go in 90, enter, it tilts down to 90 degrees. Ctrl Z to undo. Okay, the same is scaling. So if you want to scale it according to a certain number, just click on scale icon, and only x-axis is activated. So let's say if you want to double the size of this teapot, just key in 200%. It becomes double the size. Let's make it the original size 50%. Enter. So that's how you move, rotate and scale an object according to a certain number. Now let's make a copy of this object, and the best way to do it is first select the object and select move icon, and the easy way to do it is just to drag it out. First you have to press shift on your keyboard and select on any axis, just drag it out. Alright, I'm going to explain to you about the setup later. So now you just click OK. So let's zoom out a bit by just scrolling your mouse. Use the scroll on your mouse, scroller. So you've just made a copy of this teapot right here, and if you were to modify the parameter of this teapot, it doesn't affect the other one. So that's the difference between the copy and the other setup that you see in the pop-up window just now. I'm going to show you again. So if I press shift and copy again, say, and this time I want to put it on instance, click OK. So if I adjust the radius of this teapot, the other one will be affected as well. It will follow in parallel. Vice versa. You see? So now reference is a little bit sophisticated, but it's a lot like instance right here. Just a little bit of twist to it. So if you click reference, if you were to adjust the original teapot, the reference object will follow. But if you You don't have to do this one. I just want to show you the difference between reference and instance. So you don't need to do this one, okay? So let's see, if I were to apply a modifier on this teapot, the reference teapot, and I bend it, the original teapot doesn't is not affected. So if I change the parameter of the original teapot, the reference object still follows. So that's the difference between instance and reference. But you can forget about reference because most of the time you're just going to use copy and instance. So instance is very useful for let's say if you want to create thousands of columns with the same attributes. So let's say if we want to create a lot of copies, you just select the object and, as usual, press shift, drag it out, and you see here, let's just make an instance this time. It says number of copies, so let's say I want to make 6 copies. I just crank up the number and click OK, and now we have 6 copies of the teapot with the same gap between each. So that's how easy it is. Basically, that's how you copy an object. Alright, so I believe I've covered everything of the essentials of 3ds Max. So now let's move on to making a simple room.